all my friends. Myself Saurajit Sarkar,
Myself Protim Banik.
and we are here to present you a PowerPoint presentation on the topic of male sex hormones. A small acknowledgement to our teachers. Before starting any hormone, we should know what is the meaning of hormone. Hormone means a chemical messenger which is released from endocrine gland, and this chemical substance will bind with a specific receptor of the target cell to produce a cellular response. That cellular response depends on the type of hormone. So, in endocrinology, we can see a pattern that hypothalamus is controlling the master gland pituitary, and pituitary gland is controlling the endocrine glands and their secretion of the endocrine glands. So that is the reason I am starting with the hypothalamic stimulation of male sex hormone. Hypothalamus releases the gonadotropin releasing hormone. What is gonadotropin? Gonad means testis in case of males. So it is a releasing hormone. There are two kinds of hormone that are released by the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, one is the releasing hormone and the second is the inhibitory hormone. So releasing hormone which is going to the gonadotroph cell of anti-pituitary gland. So this hormone will bind with the gonadotroph cell. The receptor is present in the gonadotroph cell and it will help in the release of FSH and LH. So, what is the structure of this hormone? This is a protein hormone. So, obviously, it will be of amino acid, 10 amino acids. Mode of action is by cell membrane because it is a protein hormone, and it is released by the arcuate nucleus of hypothalamus. One of the 15 nucleus of pituitary stimulation of androgens. So, hypothalamus has released GnRH. Now, the GnRH has helped in the secretion of FSH and LH. So, FSH means follicular stimulating hormone. The name itself is saying it has something to do with the follicles of testes. So, if you see the cross section of testes, in the seminiferous tubule, it is lined by follicles which produces the sperm. So, this hormone will help in the process of spermatogenesis. This is the function of this FSH. Now, let us see some chemical structure of this hormone. This is again a glycoprotein. Glycoprotein is made up of glycogen, that is chain of saccharides, and protein, that is amino acids. But the protein is of quaternary type. Quaternary proteins are those proteins which are made up of multiple subunits. So there are more than one chain that are present in the structure. One of the subunit or chain is called alpha, and the second one is beta. Alpha chain has 89 amino acids and beta has 112 amino acids. Similarly, in case of luteinizing hormone also, it is also a glycoprotein made up of again alpha and beta subunits. Alpha has 89 amino acids and beta has 115 amino acids. Function in case of luteinizing hormone is different. Again, coming to the cross section of testes. Inside the seminiferous tubule there are follicular cells, but outside the seminiferous tubule there are interstitial cells. So this hormone will bind with interstitial cells and it will help in the release of testosterone. Now the next part will be continued by protein.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today I will be starting with the androgen. The word androgen is derived from the Latin word where androgenic male, and it is associated with the male sexual differentiations, and so that's why certain endocrinologists also term it as the parent of malehood. The androgens are derived from the cholesterol. Although the cholesterol is 27 carbon atoms, but the androgen has 19 carbon atoms on it. The androgens are associated with certain functions in the body, like they control the sexual differentiations, they control the hair growth, they control the female libido, that is the folliculation, called as the libidogenic hormone. They are also associated with certain other factors like since phytoplacental unit and since from the embryo to the adult human development. They helps in
টাইম নেই, আমি থাকছি না, মন দিয়ে শুনে নে, পুরো কমপ্লিট হয়ে যাচ্ছে যা খাবার।
We have seen the male sexual differentiation and major actions of the androgens. Now, let us know from where they are produced. The androgens are produced from the zona reticularius of the adrenal cortex. And the types of the androgens present in the body are androstenedione, dehydroepiandrosterone, dehydroepiandrosterone sulfate, dihydrotestosterone, and testosterone. The most potent androgen out of all this is testosterone, and more potent than testosterone is dihydrotestosterone, and others are regarded as the weak androgens. This now now let me see with the biochemistry of the androgens. The biochemistry of androgens starts from the cholesterol. The cholesterol are brought into the zona reticularis via protein named as stereogenic acute regulatory protein. And this cholesterol is acted upon by cytochrome 450 side cleavage chain. And this is a mitochondrial kind of enzyme which is associated with monooxygenous activity. And this cholesterol, they has a certain steroid nucleus, and to it is linked the hydrocarbon tails, and the total carbon atom here is 27 carbon atoms. This cholesterol upon this side cleavage chain from the 17th and 21st position, the excess hydrocarbon tail is being removed, and we are left with the pregnenolone. Now, this pregnenolone, it is a ketogenic compound. It has a ketone in its near almost to the 20th carbon atom. There is a ketone bond, and the cholesterol molecule is having a beta phase and the alpha phase. Alpha phase means along the plane, and beta phase is the projected above the plane. That is in a three-dimensional model we can see. So accordingly, the enzymes are named like 17 alpha hydroxylase enzyme. It adds a hydroxyl group at the 17th carbon atom, and that hydroxyl group is added just at the plane. Next, we are getting with 17 alpha hydroxy pregnenolone, ultimately where it's produced. But this 17 alpha hydroxy pregnenolone is acted upon C17,20 lives. They further remove some excess methyl group at the 20th carbon atom, and the hydroxyl group that was added at the 17th carbon atom, that is removed. And finally, we are left with the dehydroepiandrosterone. Dehydroepiandrosterone, the peculiarity is that it has a hydroxyl group at its third alpha position. Next, almost all the things are same. Next, all the structure of the molecule is almost same. And next, dehydroepiandrosterone is acted upon by 17 beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase to produce the androstenedione. That is, this also has, upon this lies, this is left, the 17th position is left with a ketone body that acts at the 17th position. Under the influence of this hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, this ketone group that was ultimately double bonded oxygen atom, this is removed, and it is converted into a hydroxyl group. So that's why the name is androstenedione. Diol is a hydroxyl group. This is one of the pathway. This is further acted by 3 beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. As I told earlier that this all the molecules at their third position, they have a hydroxyl group. This hydroxyl group will be converted into a ketonic group via this enzyme, and it is also associated with NADPH and certain other dehydrogenase activity. That is NADPH actually helps in this uh, dehydrogenation process, and so they will be producing testosterone. This is one pathway A. Another pathway goes, that is the pathway B, where cholesterol is converted into pregnenolone by the same enzyme. This pregnenolone is converted into progesterone by the enzymatic reaction. This progesterone is further acted by the same enzyme, and it is converted into 17 alpha hydroxylase progesterone. This 17 alpha hydroxylase progesterone is again acted by same enzyme C17,20 lyase, or in certain texts is also mentioned as the desmolase enzyme. So this is further converted into androstenedione. Again, androstenedione is further converted by this hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase into the testosterone. This is phosphatidyl. Now the most important thing here is the presence of 5-alpha reductase. This testosterone under the influence of 5-alpha reductase, which is encoded by the chromosome number 2, and the name of the gene loci is 5-alpha 2 steroid reductase dehydrogenase. Under this influence, it is converted into dihydrotestosterone, which is further more potent than this because it has a more greater affinity to bind with the androgen receptor and further more affinity to bind with the androgen presenting element or region in the DNA. So this is more important. Similarly, this androstenedione is also further acted upon by 5-alpha reductase and converted into the DHT. That's why athletes, when they take the anabolic steroid, they suddenly it is seen that commonly the hair fall occurs because of the increased level of the DHT in the body. Further, the androgens also has another function, that is the anabolic function. Anabolic function is associated with the protein synthesis. This protein synthesis is certain that they helps in the muscular growth. They helps in the muscular growth and in turn helps in positive nitrogen balance of the body. So these androgens, on one side they are showing the anabolic action, on the other side they are showing the androgenetic action. Certain kind of androgens may be produced endogenously in the body or exogenously. Endogenously, they are produced from the zona reticularis, from the adrenal cortex, and exogenously induced androgen are 17 alpha hydroxytestosterone, andriol, winstrol, and certain decardiolamine injections. They are exogenously introduced into the body. This is all about the androgens and its biochemistry.
অ্যাক্সিডেন্টালি ইন্ট্রা করছে এটা ভীষণ ইম্পর্টেন্ট এই কারণে বলছি প্রত্যেকটা নাম ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল মেডিসিন হিসেবে এখন ইউজ করা হয় সেটার প্র্যাকটিসের নাম ধরে শুনে থাকবে ব্রেস্ট ক্যান্সার and all these things treatment is very important to see আর EHCO খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট EHCO আমরা সাপ্লিমেন্টারি ইন্ডাস্ট্রি ইউজ করা হয় কারণ অ্যাক্টিভিটি খুব বেশি নামগুলো আমাদের এখন ট্রিটমেন্টের এখন এত বেশি সেকশনাল স্টাডি হচ্ছে পুরোটাই কিন্তু ইন্ডাস্ট্রি নামগুলো জানা কিন্তু খুব জরুরি অন্য বায়োসিনথেসিস কিন্তু আমি কাটিয়ে এই নামগুলো আমি বলি আপনার নামগুলো শুনতে শুনতে আমার ভালো লাগে
Now, androgens, release of androgens takes place from different organs. Leydig cells or interstitial cells releases testosterone under the influence of certain androgens. So, these Leydig cells or interstitial cells are obviously present in the testes. So, what happens generally? The androgens come and bind to the receptor. That is the androgenic receptor present on this Leydig cells or interstitial cells. Then they follows the mechanism of their action. They enter into the Leydig cell. They control the gene expression, and from that releases the testosterone. And and the other organ which I told earlier is the zona reticularis of the adrenal gland. That is most probably the endocrinologists refer that during the adrenal puberty has many stages like stana stages and all. During the adrenal stages, the secretion of androgens takes place. So the name of the stage is also named after this androgen. And one more feature of androgen is that it controls the growth of pubic hairs and axillary hairs obviously in the body. So that stage is also known as the pubers. So on basis of their release, the nomenclature is given accordingly. Chemistry of testosterone. See, as I have already said earlier, that this is just like the cholesterol molecules. It's just these are the steroid nucleus. There are certain chains which just enzymatically been removed, and the nomenclature is given in this manner. That is, this is the first position, this is the second, this is the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th. Here it is the 11th, then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Here it is the 17th position of the carbon atom. So these two are important very much, the 11th position and the 17th position. And from the androstenediol or from the dehydroepiandrosterone, the testosterone differs just at this third position because there were the hydroxyl group and here it is a ketonic group. So this is all about the testosterone, and the 17th position also has a hydroxyl group. And in case of dehydroandrosterone or dehydroepiandrosterone or androstenediol, there were a ketonic group at the 17th position. So this is a structural kind of difference, and these are all along the plane. That's why the name of the enzyme, which ultimately leads to the addition of this and this group, are named accordingly as alpha or beta. So here it is the alpha enzymes which are produced. So androgens is direct compound as shown by the formulas in testosterone and dihydrotestosterone. Now, dihydrotestosterone, 5-alpha reductase. Now we know reductase means double bond is unsaturated will be converted into a saturated bond. So at 5-alpha, that is along the plane like this, two hydrogens will bind here, 4th and 5th position. That's why the name of the enzyme is 5-alpha reductase. See, we can obviously see the structural difference between these other androgens, that is the weak androgens, and this is the most potent androgen. There is a structural difference at the 17th position only, and certain here also certain difference, a bond, and all about this is okay. Metabolism of testosterone after secretion by the testes, about 97% of testosterone becomes anaerobically. Okay, now steroid hormone, as it is insoluble in the blood, that is hydrophobic nature, so that must be carried into the target tissues, and that occurs via the sex steroid binding globulin. Testosterone bind with this and partly with albumin. Testosterone bind mainly with the globulin and goes to its target cells, that is they are released from the Leydig cells, and from the Leydig cells ultimately goes near to the Sertoli cells or the sustainable cells, and promotes the process of spermatogenesis by converting into dihydrotestosterone, which is more potent. So, how is the this is the one for this is okay, and metabolism also main metabolism of testosterone occurs within the sustentative cell. That is, the testosterone is converted into 5-alpha dihydrotestosterone or 5-beta testosterone. 5-beta dihydrotestosterone. Next, enzymatically they are again further converted into 5-androstenediol and alpha-androstenediol and 5-beta androstenediol. Again, that is enzymatically converted into 5-alpha-androstenediol and 5-beta androstenediol, which are further converted into etiocollagenol. That is the most weakest of all the androgens. Much of the testosterone may become physical tissues is converted within the tissue cell to clear the tissues, sustentative cells tissues, and inside that it is converted into dihydrotestosterone by the 5-alpha reductase, such as the prostate gland. And one more feature is that in the embryonic development, testosterone helps in the development of the internal genitalia, and dihydrotestosterone helps in the development of external genitalia, which includes the prostate gland and the penile urethra. And internal genitalia in the young embryo, that is again controlled by the testosterone, and there it is the seminiferous tubule, the retitestis, the epididymis. That is all the internal portion is controlled by testosterone, but external portion by dihydrotestosterone. Expression of testosterone. The testosterone that does not become released, obviously 99% of testosterone gets binded to sex steroid binding globulin, so 2 to 3% of the testosterone will just move in the blood. So that ultimately via the blood circulation goes to the liver, and there it is converted into androsterone or dihydroepiandrosterone, and that gets further converted by enzymatically converted into glucuronides or sulfates, and they are also excreted by the urine as a compound which is known as the 17-keto steroid, which ultimately is essential to know that the testis region is suffering from any pathological disease or not, or the testosterone regulation is somewhere affected pathologically or not. That is that ultimately, in order to prove that, we require the presence of 17-keto steroid in the urine.
Let us come to the mode of action of testosterone. Testosterone, we all know that it is a steroid hormone. So So we will be talking. I have shown you a diagram of a general steroid hormone, how it works. So let us come and see. It is a steroid hormone. It is a lipophilic in nature. Lipophilic means it is soluble in the lipid bilayer, so it can pass the lipid bilayer, and it is now in the cytoplasm. This is the target cell which where we are talking about. So now it can be a cytoplasmic receptor. In case of testosterone or any androgen, it is a cytoplasmic receptor. Now the cytoplasmic receptor will bind with the hormone, and it will form the receptor ligand complex. So receptor ligand complex is also called hormone receptor complex. It is binded with it. Now it will go inside the nucleus through the nuclear pore. Now it has come in the nucleus. Now in the nucleus we know that DNA is present. DNA is a sequence of nucleotides. So this hormone receptor complex, it will bind with the specific region in the DNA through which it can generate a protein. So this is the gene. Suppose this is the gene. Here it has bind here. This is the specific site of the DNA. Now this gene will be activated due to this receptor ligand complex. Now this gene will produce a mRNA. We all know that when our DNA transcribe, it will form a mRNA. This mRNA will go out of the nucleus through again the nuclear pore, and it will, with the help of ribosomes, it will translate into amino acid chain. This is the amino acid chain. Which what we will say? This is a protein kinase. So now this protein kinase will generate cellular response. That response will be different in different embryos. So this is the basic mode of action. In case of testosterone, it is cytoplasm. So the receptor is written as NR3C4. This is the mode of action of androgens. Now let us come to the functions of testosterone. The first function is effect on the testosterone to cause descent of testes. Let us see a picture here. This is the testis inside the abdomen in the embryonic life. This is the kidney, below the kidney, testis is present. It has formed here in the embryonic life. It about 7 feet after conception. Now this testes have moved downward to the inguinal canal. This is the scrotum, and here it is the testis up before the 4 to 6 feet before birth. So if this process will not occur, then the spermatogenesis will not work, because we all know that sperm production needs to be done below 2 to 3 degrees Celsius below the body temperature. So it is a very important event for descent of testis, which is occurring due to the help of testosterone. The condition developed, if this event does not occur, the condition developed is known as cryptorchidism. Effect on the distribution of body hair. You can see a picture how the body hair is developing. A body hair is developing. A person before the puberty does not have body hair. Now the person is started growing hairs. Hairs will grow in the chest region, in the groin region, in the face like beard and mustaches, and in the arms and legs. Testosterone helps in the production of body hair. Hair is a very important organ because it helps in the skin. It protects the skin from mechanical injuries. So more the hair, the healthier the skin is. Effect on the voice. Effect on the voice. We all know that male has a broader voice. That is, the bass of the voice of a male is higher than that of a female, and the frequency is lower. So how this voice will be different from female, because male has a larger laryngeal mucosa. So the hypertrophy. What do you mean by hypertrophy means more the cell volume will increase. So in the laryngeal mucosa, the volume of the cell increases. This results in the broadening of the larynx, and as the broader is the larynx, the more broader will be the base of the voice will increase. So this is the effect of the voice. This effect of the voice will result a male-like voice. This is a secondary sexual characteristic we develop after puberty. Next is the testosterone increases red blood cell level. We all know that testosterone increases genital voice. A normal adult male has almost 7 lakh more RBC than that of a female. So that is the reason why testosterone is increasing the erythropoiesis rate. Effect on the electrolyte and water balance. Uh, Water reabsorption takes place from the kidney, that is the DCT region. So in case of a male, the reabsorption rate will also increase due to the effect of testosterone. This hormone is going to be multiple regions to increase the rates. Six is basal metabolic rate. We all know that basal metabolic rate is regulated by thyroid hormone, but testosterone also increases the rate. So using the quantity of testosterone, the testosterone will increase basal metabolic rate. That is the reason why a male has more metabolism than a female. Testosterone increases the thickness of skin. Thickness of skin generally in the subcutaneous tissue. There are many layers in the skin. Subcutaneous tissue will become thicker. In case of a male, that the male has more tough and rough skin than that of a female. It increases the roughness of the skin. Eight is testosterone increases bone matrix and causes calcium retention. It is again another hormone, parathormone is doing that. But more calcium retention, more strength of the bones is due to the effect of testosterone. More strength, more density than a female. That is done by testosterone. Again, ninth is testosterone increases protein formation and muscle development. Testosterone is the anabolic hormone, so of course it will do protein formation, more musculature of a male. The male musculature, why males are more muscular than females? This is one of the reasons. Muscle mass is almost 50% more than that of female. These all things are developed after puberty on. Next part will be done by protein.
Plasma level of testosterone. In the adult, the level of testosterone in the plasma is around 300 to 1000 milligrams per ml. So, how this testosterone ultimately, this level of testosterone regulated from the embryonic life to the adult stage? Now we'll be discussing that. Now we know at this region, when the fetus is under the mother, so there will be the release of human chorionic gonadotropin from the placenta. So the under the influence of human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, the level of testosterone raises during the after the third trimester. First trimester lasts from 1 to 12 weeks. Second trimester lasts from 12 to 27 around weeks, and the third trimester lies from 27 weeks till the birth of the baby. So, at this level, under the influence of the human
এই ছেলেটা ভালো করছে না, ঠিক আছে, এই ছেলেটা ভালো করছে না।
after the perturbation, that is neonatal, when the fetus is small, the release of the human chorionic gonadotropin is hindered. So, how this ultimately comes? This level of testosterone is now regulated by a hormone that is known as the fetal luteinizing hormone, and it was first discovered by anesthesia of the fetus, that is the removal of the pituitary gland. When the pituitary gland was removed, the fetus showed an impact of testosterone because of the fetal luteinizing hormone. Now, at this region, at the pre-pubertal region, now the testosterone level will show an abrupt rise by the influence of hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. This is nothing but from the hypothalamus, that is release gonadotropin releasing hormone, it becomes the anterior pituitary. From the anterior pituitary, then it is going to the testis, and from this testis, there's release of testosterone takes place from the Leydig cells. So, under the influence of hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, this level of testosterone raises, and we know the testosterone enters into the testicular cell, they are converted into the DHT, and in that way they regulate the process forward. So we can see the level of sperm production also increases, and this later stage known as the gonad. And up to the adult stages raises it show a constancy at around almost 40 years. Then after 40 years, this level of testosterone falls, and that is known to be the male climatery. That is the male cannot show his own sexual functions. The lipidogenic actions is certainly lost to a greater extent. That is the male climatery region, and uh, that is also called as the andropause. Regulation of testosterone. Now, this is almost looking like the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal. That is, they are released from here, gonadotropin releasing hormone is coming from the hypothalamus, and this release is also under the influence of bispeptine neuron. Gonadotropin releasing hormones come on the anterior pituitary, from the anterior pituitary of the gonadotropic cell. They act upon the gonadotropic cell. From the gonadotropic cell, they are release of luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone takes place. Luteinizing hormone comes and bind with the latex cells or interstitial cells. Release of testosterone takes place to a greater extent. Now, when the level of testosterone raises to a greater extent in the blood, so anything which raises in the blood need to be, in order to maintain the homeostasis, something mechanism might be there to curtail the level of this testosterone. So if the level of testosterone is increased, so at that position, inhibin release takes place from the Sertoli cells. This inhibin ultimately provides a negative feedback mechanism to the level of the testosterone, and that's why it hinders. An increased level of testosterone also provides a negative feedback regulation upon the anterior pituitary as well as the hypothalamus. And testosterone also regulates the masculinizations of the brain. That is the male patterns, male-like behavior in the brain. So that all is hindered, and that is the negative regulation. And whenever the testosterone level is below 300 to 1000 nanogram per 100 ml of the blood, during that level, the release of activin takes place from the Sertoli cells. This activin, obviously it's not mentioned here, this activin provides a positive feedback regulation, and this activin acts on the follicle stimulating hormone to produce more and more amounts of testosterone. So testosterone, more amount of produced, the DHT will be produced, DHT produce more amount of spermatogenesis will take place. So this is all about the positive as well as the negative feedback regulation. Yes, secreted from the Sertoli cells of the testes, which inhibit the secretion of the follicle stimulating hormone, the luteinizing hormone, and the gonadotropin releasing hormone. So, this inhibin they provides a negative feedback. Inhibin provides a negative feedback regulation. Inhibin provides a negative feedback regulation on the excessive release of testosterone. That is, if the level of testosterone is above 300 to 1000 nanograms per 100 ml of the blood, then certainly negative feedback regulation need to be done. So this inhibin released from the Sertoli cells inhibits the secretion of follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, and gonadotropin. That is, it inhibits the action of hypothalamic pituitary gonadal excess. Next, testosterone inhibits the release of gonadotropin. Yes, excessive level of testosterone will ultimately again affect the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland as well as the hypothalamus. So if they will affect at that one region, so how can the release of gonadotropin releasing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone will take place? So it is also a kind of negative feedback regulation. Now, human chorionic gonadotropin. During pregnancy, the human chorionic gonadotropin is secreted by the placenta and it circulates both in the mother and the fetus. This hormone has almost the same effects on the sexual organ as luteinizing hormone. That is, we have shown the graphs. At this level, human chorionic gonadotropin acts in the fetal life, enhance the level of the testosterone. So that is called the This is all about the human chorionic gland. Activin is also released from the Sertoli cells, just like the inhibin, and it is released from the Sertoli cells whenever the level of the testosterone falls in the blood. So a positive feedback regulation mechanism is increased, and so that release of activin takes place from the sustained reticular cells of the Sertoli cells.
So we are coming to the last part of the presentation, that is applied physiology. So first applied is Addison's disease. It is not directly related with the testosterone, but indirectly, because it is a part of adrenal cortical hormone. So what is the definition of Addison's disease? It is a clinical condition which is characterized by the hyposecretion of adrenal cortical hormone. So hyposecretion of adrenal cortical hormone will occur when? So hyposecretion of adrenal cortical hormone. Which are the cortical hormones? Mineralocorticoids, sex corticoids, and glucocorticoids. So one of the reason can be hyposecretion of ACTH. ACTH is the adrenocorticotropic hormone released by the anterior pituitary. So it will release one whenever there is a hyposecretion, there is a chance of inflammation. So inflammation of the adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex is inflamed, that's why the release is decreased. Third is lack of receptors. Receptors are low, so although the level of the hormone is high, but if the hormone will not show its biological response, so it is not another etiology. There are many signs and symptoms, but I am only focusing on the symptom produced by the sex corticals. So one of the symptoms is sterility and no development of sex organs in case of males. So this is Addison's disease. So what can be the treatment? Treatment is basically here hyposecretion, that means level of ACTH is lower. So we can give ACTH injection. We can give ACTH injection, artificial ACTH injection. And the second according to etiology, if there is inflammation, anti-inflammatory and all. Coming to the second applied, that is androgenital syndrome. Definition is hypersecretion of adrenal androgen. Again, this is also related to adrenal gland, not directly with the testis. So, hypersecretion. So, what can be the etiology? Etiology can be tumor in the adrenal cortex, specifically talking zona 18 glands. Then, what are the signs and symptoms here? Male life, this problem is very dangerous in case of a female, because females will show male-like symptoms. So, male-like symptom in case of a female. Musculization of a body. A female will show musculization. Then, abnormally high hairy growth. Females do not have much hairy growth, they are like males, but in this case, hairs will develop. Abnormally deep voice. The voice will become male-like in case of a female. Elongated clitoris. Clitoris is a homologous organ of penis. So obviously the clitoris will become. Atrophy of breast. Breast development is not a part of male thing. So here the breast development will be hampered. Male-like behavior in females. The behavioral change will also occur because the sex corticoids will have some effects on the hypothalamus. And early puberty, also called precocious puberty. The puberty will be received earlier. And enlarged suprarenal glands, then resulting Addison's. Ultimately, this will also result Addison's. The gland will become enlarged. So, what can be the treatment? So, in this case, it is a tumor. We can say it is a tumor. So, we can remove the tumor by surgically. We can remove the tumor. Another thing, if the tumor is not malignant, then we can treat the patient by receptor blockers. Receptor blockers are available, which this is a case of a 4-year-old boy showing a androgenital syndrome. 4-year-old boy is having long penis and early puberty. So this is a case of androgenital syndrome. Third case is adipocytokine syndrome. Definition is here it is characterized by tertiary hypogonadism of resulting low levels of GnRH. So the pathology remains in the hypothalamus and resulting low levels of gonadotropic releasing hormones. Again, low level, that means there is a chance of the feeding center of the hypothalamus is defected here, and it can be genetic also because some genes are there which are defective. What are the signs and symptoms? First is sterility. because the GnRH level is low, so of course all the levels will be low. FSH, AH, testosterone, everything will be lower. So stability is one of them. Obesity will also develop. Why obesity is developing? Because of polyphagia. Polyphagia means what? More intake of food. The satiety of the patient will increase. So polyphagia will develop. Polydipsia means what? The thirst of the patient will increase. And polyuria, of course, the thirst is increased, the patient will drink more water and it will excrete more water. That's why polyuria. Frequent urination. And polyphagia is developing the obesity. Now, altered secondary sexual character. Hyposecretion of GnRH. It will decrease the male sexual growth. So obviously, secondary characters that are hair development, penis elongation, everything will be decreased. Growth delayed in the growth, the sexual development, atrophy, hypoplasia. Hypoplasia means lower levels of lower the number of cells of gonads. So that means the number of cells present, the follicular cells will decrease. Follicular cells will be lower. Treatment is GnRH is low, so we can give GnRH injection. So GnRH administration. Second is according to etiology because we don't know what is the actual problem. A boy showing a small penis. This is the adult male. It is showing a delayed growth. Here it is a sterile. Hypergonadism or interstitial cells. So, it is a clinical condition which is characterized by hypersecretion of testosterone in males. Hypersecretion of testosterone. What can be the reason in your tumor? Again, hypersecretion. So, tumor in the interstitial signs and symptoms. Again, like it is similar to the adiposity. Early puberty, precocious puberty, early union of epiphyseal plate. Because we know that testosterone, if the levels of testosterone is increased, then there will be a early union of epiphyseal plate, resulting in a short-heighted man. So that it will also develop dwarfism. Short height. The patient will have a short height. Excessive sexual character, more than sexual characters will develop early puberty. Sometimes develop gynecomastia. It is a very peculiar growth. The gynecomastia means breast development in males, sorry, breast development in males. So growth of breast. And due to estrogen released from the cancers. Because testosterone also can increase some of the estrogen level in this case. Treatment is what orchidectomy means removal of testes. So because tumor is there, so we can remove the testes. Secondly, if the tumor again it is not malignant, we can use receptor blocker. Yeah. This is a case, operation of testes. We are doing orchidectomy here. The mass of the testes is 17.5. Hello. The last clinical case is androgenic alopecia. It is a clinical case which is due to the hypersecretion of DHT. Again, DHT is increased, so it will result a pattern baldness. DHT results from is dihydrotestosterone. The stages of baldness are shown in the figure. So why it is happening? Why the DHT levels are increasing? My friend has already said you that testosterone will convert into DHT by an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. So the levels of 5-alpha reductase will increase due to any genetic mutation. So genetic mutation of the Y chromosome increases increases the 5-alpha reductase enzyme, and this has result a pattern baldness. The levels of DHT increases, pattern baldness. In some cases, in athletes, you can see that they take some steroid drugs. These steroid drugs can also alter in the Y chromosome and increase the levels of DHT. Some other clinical cases are also there which are related to the higher levels of DHT. I have not mentioned here. Yeah, I have mentioned in the booklet that are hyperplasia, benign hyperplasia of prostate gland, resulting prostate cancer. This is the case. So, baldness in the human male occur in the pattern growth. Hair fall again. The pattern baldness, of course, hair fall will be there, and growth of hair retarded. Lower growth of the hair. What are the treatments available in this case? Using drug that could nullify the effects of testosterone. That is the testosterone. The DHT levels are increased. So what we can do is that 5-alpha reductase is there. The levels of 5-alpha reductase increase. So we can use some drugs that can nullify the effect of the enzyme hypertrophy. And as per etiology, again, we don't know what is the exact cause. So this is the bibliography of this presentation. Right.
Diagnosis জন্য কি টেস্টোস্টেরন রেসপন্সিবল?
Dihydrotestosterone.
Sure, তো টেস্টোস্টেরন রেসপন্সিবল নয়। এটা কি শিওর যে ডাইহাইড্রো টেস্টোস্টেরন increases when the testosterone level is too high? Is it true or not?
যদি এনজাইমটা কাজ করে ফাইবার ফরম্যাটেস তাহলে ওটা বেশি করে অ্যাকশন করবে টেস্টোস্টেরন রিলিজ করবে
অবশ্যই। তাহলে টেস্টোস্টেরন যদি টু হাই হয় তাহলে ডিআইসি বাড়বে, এটা শিওর।
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
যদি ডাক্তারের কাজ না করে তো এটা জিজ্ঞেস করবি। হ্যাঁ, কারণ আগের ধারণা ছিল ওটাই যে হাই